Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'll be reviewing The Color Purple. This is the newest reimagining of this story. Obviously, the 1985 film is based on the original novel, while this one leans more towards being kind of a cinematic representation of the musical that came out in the early 2000s. Fantasia, who you may know from American Idol, actually plays the main character Celie in this film. She was also in the musical, and I think she gives a really good performance, not just on her obvious musical talents, but also on her acting skills. The movie follows the basic same premises that we've seen before, while changing it up just a little bit. I don't think it's quite as hard-hitting as the original film, and that has to do with kind of the interjection of more spectacle and more of these musical numbers, which I do think makes the film at times almost more enjoyable to watch. Because obviously all the hard-hitting themes about abuse and neglect are in this film, but having it being broken up by these uplifting, inspiring musical numbers helps it flow just a little bit faster than the original film. That being said, I do think some people that are fans of the original movie may find that a bit of a detriment. This movie does move very, very quickly, and I think some of those long musical numbers and kind of the spectacle nature of this movie may take away some of the more hard-hitting scenes that were in the original film. But that doesn't mean that there aren't great performances and you don't get a ton of character development. As I had mentioned, Fantasia gives a great performances as our lead, but I do think some of the supporting characters are also very, very good. Danielle Brooks, who plays Sophia in the film, may be the one that really steals the show as far as a performance. She doesn't have the biggest role in the film, but the scenes that she does have, she makes the most of, and she has probably the most complete arc of a character, and someone who really stands out as someone who raises the stakes for everyone involved and is able to kind of push all our characters further into progress and being able to stand up for themselves. And while I did mention that Fantasia gives a good vocal performance, everyone does in this one. I think that Taraji P. Henson as Shug gives some great musical numbers. She's obviously kind of the more bombastic character. Everyone else seems to be a little more subdued, and she's this larger-than-life persona, and I think she plays that really well in this one. Coleman Domingo is utterly hateable in this movie, and while you may hate the character, he does give a really good performance. While he doesn't have any real musical numbers, he does give probably the hardest-hitting performance as someone who has to play this just totally detestable individual. And while I mentioned the spectacle multiple times in this film, the big musical numbers do feel like you're watching a Broadway play. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of choreography, multiple vocal performances, and I think it comes together to create some really memorable moments. While the music may not be the most catchy thing in the world, it is very impressive how all these characters are able to pull off these larger than life and really, like I said, inspiring scenes in the film. The set design is also fantastic in this one, taking place in the early 1900s in the South, and even taking place across multiple decades. And like I said, that's something that people may have trouble with. We're jumping multiple tens of years and moving forward. But I do think the costuming and the overall production design are top notch. This really is a film that will invoke a lot of emotions. Throughout the film, I obviously felt myself feeling like I wanted to cry, being put in the place of these individuals that are just constantly being oppressed and put down. And then also seeing some huge hopeful and uprising moments helped break that up a little bit. It could have been a very sad film and really doesn't move on from that, but I do think the idea of growing and empowering yourself and these themes really do shine through, and by the end it is quite the crescendo. So if I were to rate The Color Purple, I would give it an 8 out of 10, and that is someone who doesn't have a strong attachment to the original film, and I've never seen the musical myself, so I was very pleasantly surprised. So if you end up checking out this one, let me know what you thought about in the comments below, and also let me know, have you read the book, have you seen the original film, have you seen the play, and how do they all compare to one another? So again, thanks for watching, remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.